Hey y'all, it's Hunter Elliott, rangehot.com. Hope everybody's doing well. This afternoon I'm finally getting around to do my review and wrap up the GLOCK Gen 5 17. First thing I do want to show you is there's no magazine in the pistol. Chamber is empty, so she is safe to talk about. Gen 5 now. There's going to be a chart on rangehot.com in the written article. It's going to have a technical list of everything as far as all the changes, as well as some more technical specifications of this pistol, as well as group shot out the 25 yards and types of ammo and different sort of stuff we use. So bear in mind, this is just a video overview. So with that said, let's get with it. According to Glock, there are 35 different either upgraded or changed parts on this pistol. Let's go over a few of the more important ones and talk about the good and the bad or what have you. So the first thing that I noticed was no finger grooves on this pistol, which I didn't know how I was going to feel about that because I've got a Gen 4 17 that I shoot a lot of matches with. I carry it from time to time. Love that pistol. Got used to those finger grooves. But you know what? It's fine. It really isn't that big of a difference to me, good or bad. Now, keep in mind, it is a little bit different texturing now on this particular pistol. So I'm not going to say it's more aggressive, but it does work really well. And like the Gen 4s, Glock does send 4 different types of back straps with it. Coming out here to the bottom, you can see now Glock is incorporating a flared mag well. I saw a little bit of hate online about these. Personally, I think it's a pretty good idea. It does help you get that magazine in a little bit quicker in a hurry. Just think of it as a funnel. Something else though to understand about the mag well, at least for me, is when I'm grabbing that pistol, a mag well just kind of helps me center my hand on the gun. If you do have a stoppage with the flared mag well now, you can't get your hands on the side of the base pad. So now you have to come in here from the front to strip the magazine out. We ran just over 500 rounds through this gun of ball and all kind of different defensive ammo. Didn't have any problems with it. Coming up here to the top, now from Glock as a factory option, you can get these Ameriglow night sights, which if you like the old Glock sights, that's fine. They're still available. But now these are available as a factory upgrade from Ameriglow, and they're damn nice sights. I feel like night sights on a gun, not only for low light or no light, but even in daylight with that big bright orange front sight, for me it was a lot easier to pick up. Coming in here to the trigger, it does have a different trigger. In my opinion, it's definitely better than the previous generation's trigger. It's still a Glock trigger, so it's not like, oh my God, it's an amazing trigger, but it's definitely a lot better. Still got some take up. Brakes clean at 5.5 pounds with overtrap. The slide stop now is ambidextrous. And basically, that's going to make the wrong-handed shooters happy. Now, no ambidextrous mag catch, but it is reversible, same as like with the Gen 4. Something else pretty cool about the slide stop, though, is Glock has elected to make it a little bit wider so it comes off the receiver a little further. And so now I'm actually able to use my thumb to drop the slide. Whereas before, anytime I bought a Glock, the very first thing I did was upgrade that slide stop to a ledge type. Now you notice this is now just a single pin takedown, which is different than the previous models. But filled and detail stripping Glocks has never really been a problem. Glock has upgraded the barrel. They're calling this their Glock Marksman barrel, and they're saying it's going to be more accurate than previous barrels. So you know what we did? We took it out to 25 yards, arrested the gun, shot some groups with it. And then I went back and compared those groups to when I reviewed the Gen 4 17. And you know what? Across the board, this pistol was a little more accurate. Now, it wasn't night and day difference, but it was definitely a noticeable, consistent improvement in accuracy. I do have a Lone Wolf barrel, and it's threaded for if I want to run a can on my gun. And unfortunately, it did not work with this pistol. It fit in the slide just fine, but the recoil system didn't seem to work. When I installed that, the actual little plug stuck out a little bit further out of the muzzle. So if you've got aftermarket barrels for your Gen 4, I don't know if they'll jive with the Gen 5. It does have a different finish on it. Glock is calling this the NDLC finish. It's still black like the old trusty Model T. Now there's a couple things different internally. That they did change the shape of the firing pin a little bit. It's a little more squared off, as well as the 3 supplied magazines now have orange followers, which not a huge deal, but I will tell you this: when you run the gun dry and you lock the slide to the rear, you just kind of glance down into the ejection port, you can see that orange follower, and that's a pretty quick identification that the gun is dry and the magazine is empty. Now, I ran this pistol also with some Gen 3 and Gen 4 mags, as well as the Magpul P mags throughout the review. No magazines gave any trouble whatsoever either way. Overall, that's a lot of the different changes. Nothing huge, but a lot of small things. And I think it's enough to make this gun a little different and warrant a Gen 5. I look at this gun, it's kind of like the four-wheel drive pickup trucks of firearms. It'll do about everything. Some things it'll do good, some things not so good, but you can usually make it work. If you've got a Gen 4, is it worth it to go out and pick out a Gen 5? Well, that's up to you. But any excuse to get a new gun is good enough in my opinion. So, yeah, honestly, I think it warrants at least considering. MSRP on this pistol is $565. You know, street price is going to be better than that. So, definitely an inexpensive handgun that does what it's supposed to do. Let me know what you think, good, bad, right, or wrong. I always appreciate feedback. So you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter. We do the social media gamut. I truly appreciate all the support. Really, I do. Thank you. That's about it. So I want you to take care of yourselves and each other, and I look forward to seeing you at the range.